Good evening, I'm Ed Horan.
And I'm Erica Ponce.
New Hampshire's legislature is being sworn in tomorrow.
This afternoon here at News Channel 12, we've lost another one of our family members. Ed Horan was a producer here at the station. We've learned that he died last night at 10 o'clock due to an allergic reaction to food. He was just 24 years old.
They say you can't go home again. I just had to come back one last time. Ma'am, I know you don't know me from
Shaggs was the type of person that you wanted in the room. As soon as he walked in the room, just boom, automatically, the energy shifted. Everything changed. Everything was different. He walked in with a smile, automatically you were smiling, no matter what type of day you were having.
Shaggs was the kind of kid, I came to see him as a freshman and I was real, nervous. I didn't know a lot of kids, and the upperclassmen, I was always kind of intimidated by them, the sophomores, juniors, and seniors, but Shaggs was one of the first upperclassmen who kind of embraced me and, became a friend of mine. He knew kids that I knew. He was kind of someone that everybody knew. His personality was so big, you couldn't not get to know him, and he was just a friendly dude who loved to make friends, and that was kind of my first impression of him.
Ed was a terrific young man. He was a great kid. He was a friend to everybody. He loved the school. He loved his teammates, and I think he was always looking forward to being here in whatever sport was going on and whatever day it might have been along the way.
Fondest memory was I was filming an intro. The plot was I woke up late for school. I had to get to CMTV for the broadcast, and my car broke down, so I had to run to the school. We filmed the intro, which was aired, and he didn't know that I was filming, and I was sprinting down the hallway, and he's coming out of the CMTV door, and I almost ran him over, and his face was priceless.
Shaggs, I must say, you look pretty nice tonight, pal.
Well, I got the Giorgio Armani suit, fresh from Men's Warehouse, a $60 Calvin Klein shirt.
$60, that's all?
He gave me a ride home one time. I live in Plymouth, so that's an hour drive. With traffic, it was an hour and a half. And one day I needed a ride home. I was gonna take the train or something, and he just, for no reason, it was a random Tuesday, just insisted on driving me home all the way to Plymouth. He refused to take any gas money. I tried to buy him lunch, and he wouldn't even let me do that. That really stuck out to me. It was just something simple, and at the time I appreciated it, but I didn't think that much of it, but that was kind of who Shaggs was. He just...
Well, some of them are kind of funny, and the one that comes to mind is Ed was, the Shaggs was team manager, and I used to give him the keys and say, listen, go open up the locker room, or go open up the shed, or go open up someplace and, get whatever was needed for practice to begin. And one day I gave him my keys, and he came back with the equipment that he needed. But I go, where's my keys? And he kind of was I don't know. So I told him, he was kind of worried about it, to say the least. I said, Shaggs, don't worry, but we'll find him. So we spent a good amount of time looking for him. He was really worried that he'd lost them. And I told him, don't worry about it. I lose my keys all the time, but eventually we find them along the way. But it was kind of funny seeing the fact that he was concerned with letting me know that he had lost the keys.
There was no one more CM than Shaggs, especially when it came to the sporting events. Shaggs was always there, no matter what sport it was. He was there, man. He was CM. Everything. Before Shaggs arrived at CM, he was already everything that CM wants their graduates to be.
One of my favorite memories from CMTV, he came in one day, and he was you could tell he was up to something. He was kind of sneaking around, and he had this smirk on his face. And I'm asking him, I was like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? What's up? I think he was directing that day. And he's like, oh, today's the day, today's the day, today's the day. And this is around when people were rickrolling each other, which was making you get someone to accidentally watch Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, the music video. And he got on Anchor and he like gave this like great introduction about this like piece, and it was like, you thought it was gonna be this like great like series. I forget what it was specifically, but like he talked it up, and then, you know, he sent it over, and it was Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. So he rickrolled the whole school.
And Shaggs would be one of the guys in the bleachers, in the stands, hooting and hollering, yelling and screaming for his friends and his teammates on the court, leading the charge, whether it be a basketball game, a hockey game, a football game, a lacrosse game, it didn't matter. Shaggs was one of those guys who loved Catholic Memorial and really enjoyed being part of our school community, and he was a big part of our school spirit and school community here at Catholic Memorial.
You can close your eyes, it's all right. I don't know no love songs, and I can't sing the blues anymore.
Shaggs impacted CM by showing us how to live, by showing us how to be a true CM Knight. He was a true CM Knight even before he arrived.
He was just a very, he was like silly all the time. He was just so like comfortable in his own skin. He like, you couldn't help but laugh. He was always just so funny. He was just really, his personality was so big. Like, he was just such a big personality, like so much himself. He was just such a lively person. I don't know, he was, I'll never meet another Ed Shaggs Horan, I can tell you that. That's what I think when I think about him.
Captain Kluwat stressed that the forum's only a part of the study to see if the idea is a good one. Even if the potential changes went into effect, he says it probably would not happen for another 5 to 15 years, depending on...
I think the kind of person that Shaggs was, he was always dependable. If you needed something to be done, he could be called upon to help out whatever project was going on, whatever school activity was going on. Shaggs was one of those guys you could depend on to be there to support the school, to support his teammates, to support a team. He was a very giving person, and I think that's something that we'll always remember him for.
Awesome. I think that's what makes CM awesome, is the people. And he was one of those people that was just like a staple. Like, it wouldn't have been CM if it weren't for Shaggs. And that translates to how he impacted me. Like, being here for 4 years, he was a good friend of mine, a very good friend. And he was just somebody who, like, you always look forward to seeing in the morning.
He was, I can't believe I'm saying this in the past tense, but he was the best. No one was better.
Barnett is waiting to settle the discussion of whether or not to continue allowing ATVs to operate on public roads.
To him, it's that I'm gonna miss him, and I always thought I'd see him again.
If I could tell Shaggs one thing, and I know he's listening right now, I'd tell him, even though I was a year above him and I showed him a lot here at CMTV, that I looked up to him a tremendous amount. I thought of him every day. He was everything and more of a man, and I looked up to him as a human being, as a man, and I wanted to be like him. So if I can see him again, I tell him I looked up to him. He is an inspiration to me, and I want to be like him. That's a mission. I love you.